Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. As you guys know, and you guys see in the title, currently there is it's like 2 or 3 times a year, the semi-annual Sephora VIB and Rouge sale, where there is a huge discount. It is 20% off everything, which Sephora never does, except for at these exclusive times during the year. So today I'm going to be giving you guys my picks on the splurge-worthy items that, now that you've got this nice little discount, might be a great time to try out. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching. And please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload, which is 3 times a week, because that is the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So if you want to see my picks for those really bougie, expensive products that are totally worth trying now that you're going to get 20% off, keep on watching. So I did pick the items that I think were a little bit more exciting, and hopefully you guys agree. First thing I'm going to talk about is going to be quite bougie. So this is going to be one of, if not my favorite eyeshadow palettes of all time. This is the Natasha Denona Lila palette. I have had this for years and it sees a lot of love. I did use it for today's video, which there will be a tutorial on this look coming. I don't know if it's coming next week or in like 4 videos, but you will see it coming soon. And I love a nice purple smoky eye, and this is like a staple palette for it. This retails for like $140, but currently it is on sale for $99, so you will get this $140 palette for $80, which for the Natasha Denona formula is ridiculously, it blows my mind that a $140 palette could be selling for $80. That is a steal for this formula. They also have the Sunset palette, but you guys know I love my cool tones and I love my purples, so I don't have that palette, but I might be getting it during the VIB sale just because it's such a good sale that, you know, $80 for a Natasha Denona palette is unheard of. So, like, obviously this is my colors, and I feel like I wear this shade down here, which is a super silvery purple, all the time, and I'm in love with it. So if you guys haven't gotten your hands on a Natasha Denona palette, and that is a eyeshadow formula that interests you, you can totally grab this. They do also have Natasha Denonas in minis. They're like little mini palettes with 5 shades that kind of are inspired by the full-size palettes. That is a great way to introduce yourself to the formula if you're not ready to commit to the full size, but it's like almost 50% off to go from $140 down to $80. Like, totally worth it. Next, you guys have heard me talk about this for a very long time. This is the Dior Air Flash Spray Foundation. I think what I love most about this is it is a beautiful finish to wear on its own as a foundation, but more importantly, this layers so well over everything else. So for me personally, I know that if I am doing my makeup out in the world, or like when I filmed with Donna in a studio that was not my bedroom, or, well, this isn't my bedroom, but not in my house, this is something I can always use, that if my concealer is not participating, or I notice that I contoured my nose and it rubbed off some of my foundation, I can take this foundation, take a little bit on my sponge, and I can actually apply this over powder, and it will just beautifully lay on top just to help clean up anything. Like if I notice that I want to just touch up right here, it is just such a good foundation to have on hand. I think that I have yet to find something this does not play well with. In addition to the fact that it just has a beautiful finish, it looks amazing on the skin, and it is great for all skin types. It does retail for over $60, so 20% off does bring it into a little bit more of a relatable, rational, like, accessible price point. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still like $45 for a foundation, but that's what Makeup Forever's foundation is. That's a little bit more than the Fenty foundation. Like, once you get that discount off, totally worth trying something new. Next, another product I've raved about before. This is actually the 2nd or 3rd of them I've gone through. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder. This is another one of those powders that anytime things just don't look perfect, take a little bit of this and it will kind of fix anything. It is a light diffusing powder, so like my cheeks are super blushy today. If I were to take just a tiny bit of this powder over, it just kind of makes everything look a little bit more like the skin again and a little less makeup-y. Like, obviously it's makeup-y, but you know what I mean. This is one of those powders that works again on all skin types. It is slightly luminous, so I do tend to set with more of a mattifying powder. I'll use a mattifying primer, and then I'll use this to kind of bring the skin back to life so that I still have a little bit of a glow. I like having glow to the skin. I don't necessarily want to be flat and matte, but I do not want to get shiny. This powder will give you that beautiful luminous finish, and I'll let my other products be the mattifying products. The next three products all come from Marc Jacobs. The first is the Scandalust eyeshadow palette. This is like the most beautiful palette for fall, and I mean, it's 7 shades for like $50. Again, that is excessive. I know that. This was a gift, but with these palettes, and especially these expensive formulas, the only time you're going to get a discount on some of these products is going to be at Sephora. Natasha Denona is not carried at Ulta. Marc Jacobs is not carried at Ulta. You're not getting discounts on these products like ever. The pigmentation is beautiful. They just wear so effortlessly, and they are so like travel friendly. You see how small this palette is? I love traveling with this because it's versatile, it's durable, and I can literally get like any neutral or smoky eye out of this. And then I travel with something with a little bit of purple, and I have everything I need in my routine. The other two Marc Jacobs products are going to be 2 of the now 3 Omega bronzers. They did come out with an even darker shade. This is Tantastic. This is like my winter bronzer. This one is Tantric. I know on camera they're going to look very similar. This one is definitely a little darker and a little warmer. I had this one first, and then when they launched this one, it became my brand new favorite. There's now a third one that is even darker and even warmer. Not something I'm ever going to use, but these two are beautiful on the skin. I do already have bronzer on, however, I feel like the mood for this video is products you can use to finesse other products. I already have a different bronzer on, but if I wanted to take a little bit of this and just kind of add a touch more bronze to the skin, it sits so well on top of other products. Everything blends so nicely together. It's not an overly pigmented bronzer. I think for me, my least favorite part about bronzer is when you dip into your brush and you get way too much off the bat. These are, like you guys saw, super effortless. They wear beautifully on the skin. It's not a flat matte bronzer, but it is not a luminous bronzer. So you definitely get like a skin-like finish, and everything just looks perfect. Another eyeshadow palette that I have been really into lately is the New Nude palette from Huda Beauty. I have not used this nearly as much. It sat in my drawer for a very long time before I finally started using it. And these foiled shades are everything. It's getting a little washed out on camera, but let me tell you, these shades in person, super dynamic, super versatile. This shade right here, Love Bite, is the like most beautiful, plummy, pinky mauve. It's really hard to describe, but it is such a great shade to wear blown out as a one shadow look or mixed into everything else. If I'm traveling, these two palettes are pretty much all you're going to need. I mean, I always pack like 3 or 4 because I'm obsessive, but going into this formula is so nice. And I have yet to find a shadow that does what these like marble foiled shadows do. They are just beautiful and intense and vibrant, and the way that they catch the light is seriously a work of true genius. I was not a huge fan of the original, the Desert Dusk palette. It's the only Huda palette that like, the colors, I know it was the purple palette, but it just didn't call to me because there were so many warm tones and oranges. This one I think makes up for everything I didn't like in that palette. Onto a mascara. So this is the Dior Show HD Pump and Volume Mascara. I might have finally found a mascara that I like more than Benefit Roller Lash. And I know that's saying a lot because I have been on Roller Lash for such a long time. But this is just such a beautiful formula. The wand is super easy to work with. It's one of the few mascara formulas I found that I can even take on the lower lash line, which you guys know I notoriously skip mascara on the bottom lashes, but this one actually wears really nicely there. It is a $30 mascara, so once again, great when you have 20% off because that kind of brings it back into the price point of a lot of the other Sephora mascaras. All right, we are over the main stretch. I only have a couple more items. I am in love with the formula of the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. This is the shade Bond Girl. I also have Pillow Talk. They are just super creamy and comfortable matte lipsticks. The reason I love this shade so much is, as you will see, it is like just a beautiful universal nudie mauve. I take this with like a pink gloss, and it is like the most beautiful go-to lipstick for me. I think my biggest issue with lipsticks in general is that they can be creamy but not matte, or they'll be super matte and super drying, but you really have to build them up to get color. This one is a comfort matte, so it looks really nice on the skin. It doesn't get overly drying, but it doesn't fade away quite as fast as a lot of other cream lipsticks. Last two products. So this one is going to be a current obsession of mine. I have used this pretty much every day since I got it, the exception being like today and one other day, and that's when I filmed the Jeffree Star palette review. I'm surprised I didn't grab this because I could definitely get the look I have today out of this palette. The purples are absolutely beautiful, but the Jackie Aina and Anastasia Beverly Hills palette is so nice. It is limited edition, so a time like this when there's 20% off everything is the perfect time to pick up a palette that will not be around forever. The shades are really, really like friendly for all skin tones, all skin depths. I'm in love with it. I will link the video I did up here on the full review and demo on this palette, but let me tell you, it is beautiful, amazing, all of those fun things. I paid $45 for it, so to get 20% off would be even better. And the last product, which for me was the hardest to get behind, but I actually picked this up at the VIB sale last year. This is the Natasha Denona Diamond Blush Palette. It is like $90 for some cream blush, cream highlighter, and some blush and highlight. It's a little excessive, I'm not going to lie, but this is everything you need. I don't use a lot of the creams, I'm not going to lie, but these 4 shades, which are powders, are everything. I'm going to layer my highlight up a little bit for you. I know it's already a little intense, but I'm going to take the diamond powder, which is like, think of the Fenty Gloss Bomb, but like all that sparkle in a powder form. I'm going to take a little bit of that and just layer it over the cheek. And you will see that it just adds an even more high shine, wet effect to the cheek. It is something that is, honestly, it is super difficult to find this formula in anything. The closest thing I found are going to be in creams, where you get that like really encapsulated, glittery, sparkly finish, which I'm going to be honest with you, that is not the vibe every single day. But on those days where I really want to glow and I want that high shine finish, this is what I grab for regularly. So thank you guys so much for watching. Those are going to be my top picks for this year's Sephora VIB Rouge sale. So make sure to let me know down below what are some of the products that you have your eyes on for this 20% off discount that we do not get all the time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!